How's it going? This is Jack Oberkirsch with HomeMusicMaker.com, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to use drum samples in Reaper. So before we can start making a quick little drum loop, we have to change some settings around, and in order to do this, first we have to download the SWS extension for Reaper. It's a free extension. I'll provide a link for it down below, and then once we have that downloaded and installed on our system, go to Options, Preferences, and the first thing we're going to do is go to Media Item Defaults, and we're going to make sure that all these options for loop source are deselected, and we want Trim Content Behind Media Items when editing selected. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go down to Mouse Modifiers right here, and we're going to select Media Item Edge as far as the context, and double click right here. And then we want our default action to be SWS loop section of selected items. And like I said, we can't change these settings around until we have the SWS extension downloaded. So make sure to do that. Like I said, I'll provide a link down below for the SWS extension, as well as a tutorial on how to loop in Reaper, which will give you a bit more of an in-depth look at changing these settings as well as getting the SWS extension. So now that that's done, we're ready to start working on a quick drum loop. Cool. So the first thing that I like to do is get together a kick and snare pattern and a tempo. Reaper has this awesome function right here. It says tap when you hover over it. If you tap, it'll give you approximate tempo. So this is the tempo I'm looking to have the beat in, something like. All right, let's listen to that. A bit slower. Let's try 168. Yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, you can use that tool right there to get a little ballpark tempo to work with. All right, so let's get started on doing a kick and snare pattern. And another thing that you can do in Reaper is if you right-click right here on the grid line enable button, if you right-click it, you get some settings for the grid lines that pop up. So right now I have it set to show 16th notes, but you can change it to quarter notes, eighth notes, pretty much whatever's going to help you make the beat. So for making this kick pattern, I'm going to do probably eighth notes. And then in Reaper, you can either copy and paste by right-clicking and scrolling down to copy, or paste right here. You can do it the manual way, or you can press Command C and then Command V. So either way you want to do it. All right, let's get started. Awesome. So that's pretty much the kick drum loop that I'm going to go with. So in order to loop in Reaper, we can select all these items, go ahead and glue them together to make it a little bit easier. Drag this edge where we want it to loop to, right there. Double click the edge, and now the loop should take. All right, let's make sure that sounds how we want it to. Sweet. Loop it 2 more times though. Right, so now let's move on to a snare pattern. Knocking things over here in the studio. All right, snare, snare, let's get that going. Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't want to spend too much time looking for samples. Bore you guys with the details. Sweet. And then again, to loop this snare, all we have to do is drag it to where we want it to loop to, double click the edge after we've changed those settings around that I showed you, and then it should loop just how we need it to. Let's double check. Cool. And then I'm keeping it really simple with the kick and snare pattern because we're going to add some other stuff in later. The next thing I'm going to do is take a little clap and reinforce it, and use it to reinforce the snare pattern. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty interesting. Let's go with that. If I was working on a serious track, I might spend some time or some more time looking at what samples I'm using, but I'm just trying to show you guys how to use samples in Reaper, so we're just moving right along. Cool. Let's go ahead and turn this clap down just a bit compared to the snare. Start with 2.5. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add some hi-hats in. Find a sample to use. Yeah, I like that. Cool, and then this is where that grid line adjustment thing I showed you guys is really gonna come in handy here. So let's see, I believe I wanted to start with 8 notes. Let's see if that's what I wanted. Nope, 16. Oops. There we go. All right, and then on this last one, I want it to change to 30-second notes. So let's see. Awesome. So yeah, go ahead and right-click on the grid lines, and we can switch it to 30-second notes, just like that. Double-click to reset that loop. Oh, not like that, though. There we go. Sometimes it does some funky stuff. Grab a new one. There we go. Awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and glue both of these together. Double click right there, and then we should be able to loop it again, just like that. Awesome. So that's the hi-hats there. All right, the next thing that we're going to add in is some 808s, a little bit of an 808 rhythm. And I know that I want this song to be in D minor, so we're going to use 808s that are in D minor, in the key of D minor, that is. 808s. So here's one in D. Let's see how this is. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Oh. Go ahead and hit Command C, Command V to paste. And then let's go ahead and find maybe something that's in either F or E. Yeah, let's try that. Put this one right here. Maybe not. That one's kind of boring. Yeah, let's try that. Oh. Awesome. And then we go ahead and put this one right here. Glue these together. Double click the edge. We can go ahead and loop that. Just like that. All right, let's see how it sounds so far. Sweet. All right, so the next thing that we're going to add in is a little bit of just like a crash cymbal. It comes in every little bit. Starting to add the little extra things now, because for the most part, our beat is coming together. So go to cymbals. Let's try this one. Yeah, I like that. And then again, Command C, Command V to paste, or remember you can do it manually by right-clicking and scrolling down for these options. Cool. Loop this cymbal line, glue it, double click the edge, and loop it. Cool. All right, so the next thing that I want to add is a second snare hit to kind of put some accent on the offbeats. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. Yeah, let's go with that. Put this one under the snare. Title it Snare 2. Turn the second snare up a little bit. Go ahead and copy, paste. Yeah. Awesome. And then we're going to loop that. So glue these together. Glue it together. Double click the edge. Awesome. So now we got our beat pretty much made. I just want to add a couple more extras to really make it pop. So we're going to title this track Bleep, because I just want to add a little bleep in there. So let's go find what I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll work. The trick, though, is we're going to add some reverb on it, make it stand out, add some flavor. Put some chorus on there, why not? Awesome. So now let's loop this one how we want it to. Awesome. And I just want it to come in every once in a while. So go ahead and glue it. Double click it and drag it. Great. So let's add a couple more things here. So now what if you wanted to add some VST instruments to your beat? For example, I got a little woodblock sample that I love to use. So I'm going to pull that up and yeah, show you how you can combine that. Strike. So to pull this up, all I had to do was click this effects button right here, which pulls up your all your plugin windows, and then scroll to the plugin that you're looking for. In this case, I was looking for a sample library by Spitfire Audio. And then as far as the input, you want your input, scroll down to input MIDI, and then either select which keyboard you want to use or put all MIDI inputs. That way you can use any keyboard in your studio. So let's add some woodblock here. Awesome. And let's add one more virtual instrument here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the track, unarm the first one. This one is kind of like a metal percussion instrument that I want to use. So delete the plugin that was there. You can go and press add. Find the plugin that you want to use. Another one from Spitfire Audio in this case, cinematic percussion. Metal hits. There we go. It's a little boring though. Let's add some spice. Turn up the distortion. And max out the reverb. All right, here we go. Awesome. As you can see, though, I forgot to delete the take from the block when I duplicated the track. So I'll show you actually real quick how to get rid of that take that we don't need. Highlight the take that we just recorded of the metal percussion, right-click, and press glue. And it'll get rid of that last take, just like that. Boom. So let's take a listen. This is the full beat right here. Sweet. And then now that we have the beat made and it's all so neat and orderly as we went along, we can loop the whole darn thing by selecting all the items like this, gluing them, and then one at a time, we're going to double click the edges, double click it, drag it, double click it, drag it, so on and so forth. Cool. And then now that we have everything looped, you can even just grab everything at the same time, drag it all, boom. It's as easy as that. Once you have the SWS extension downloaded and those settings the way they need to be, using drum samples in Reaper, as you can see, is pretty easy if you're savvy and you spend some time working with the software. So yeah, thanks again. My name's Jack Oberkirsch with HomeMusicMaker.com. Hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in.